Professor Zemanek here. So on Thursday, when we had our live class, we went over all of the materials for our timed write. But I figured if some of you are like me, there was a lot of information and we might not remember all of it. So what I thought I'd do, I would make a little video for you to go through the material again so you can look at it at the beginning of the week or throughout week of week 9. So you make sure you've got all the parts and all the help that I can provide for you. So again, this is a timed write. It's 50 points. So please don't feel like this is a make or break assignment for the semester. Yes, it's important, but keep in mind that of course there's tons of other things happening throughout the semester. So don't put too much pressure on yourself. Okay, all right, so I'm going to share my screen with you. We'll walk through the prompt together. We'll look at the outline that I've created to hopefully help you at least get some ideas going in your brain. And then I'll show you the actual quiz text box and walk you through that. Okay, so here we go. Let me share my screen. All right, so hopefully you can see my screen right now. And I'm just going to walk you through the prompt. Again, we did this last Thursday in our live class session, but here we are doing it again. So like it says, it starts with this Malcolm Gladwell quote. Malcolm Gladwell states, each of us has his or her own distinct personalities, but overlaid on top of that are tendencies and assumptions and reflexes handed down to us by the history of the community we grew up in, and those differences are extraordinarily specific. Oh, Malcolm Gladwell, always wise. Okay, so the sources that we read for this particular unit were Gladwell's 3 Lessons of Joe Floam and Jean Annion's Social Class and the Hidden Curriculum of Work. All right, here's the assignment. Right here is where I'm at, if you're wondering. Students will have 2 hours to write a well-organized essay that is about 1,000 words. And the unit focused on success and demographic luck for your essay, I'd like you to consider the following. Here's part 1. Do outside forces that are beyond one's control, aka demographic luck, affect one's abilities to be successful? If so, what specific uncontrollable factors shape a person's ability to be successful? If not, what are specific things people can do to become successful despite uncontrollable factors? So things to keep in mind. You want to make sure you define demographic luck and success. Because we probably all have a relatively same definition, I assume your reader will know what those are to begin with. But because we probably have different opinions in some sense, it's important to know as a reader where you as the author stand on those topics. So that's why we want to define them first. Next, you want to give a direct quote, either from Gladwell or Annion. You can choose whichever one you're most interested in or fits your essay better. And then it says, do not feel like you have to take a position that's either or. So you don't have to completely agree with the idea, nor do you have to completely reject the idea. You can live in that kind of gray space if you like, as long as you're clear about that. So that's part 1. Part 2 now is where you're going to help your reader not only see how you're defining those terms, but you're going to give one example from your own life where you've experienced demographic luck, or if you disagree with demographic luck, where you've seen the opposite of that. So things to keep in mind when you're writing part 2. Be specific with your example and make sure you use analysis. We've been working so hard on analysis, and that's super great. So let's bring those skills in this part of the essay. Keep in mind that your example can be a time when demographic luck was not on your side. Thus, you're excluded from something simply because of a demographic you belong to. All right. Grading criteria. So we will be using, like it says, the quiz text box for this short essay. Please aim for about 1,000 words, which is like about 2 pages typed. If you're a little above or a little under, that's okay. And by a little, I mean like maybe 50-ish words or so, right? I don't want you to type more simply to just type more, but I also want to make sure you have enough there. But please try to kind of limit yourself. So if you're at like 1,500, that's a lot. That's a lot more. So just be conscious of that. And I'll show you how to check your word limit in a moment. Make sure you have the basic essay structure. So intro, your body paragraphs, your conclusion. Here's an important one that I think people forget about, but make sure you leave time to proofread your essay. So even though that this is a timed write and you have 2 hours, and I know that, it's still important to leave, maybe 10 minutes at the end to just maybe even read through it one time, just to make sure you have nothing crazy and glaring that you could easily have fixed had you read it once. So leave yourself a little time to make sure you read through it. Important due dates and points. You've got 2 hours to complete the essay. It's 50 points, and it is due by Friday, March 19th by 11:59 p.m. Okay, so you have all next week to work on it. And yeah, okay, let me show you the outline. So again, you do not have to use this if you don't want to. I've put it together because a lot of people have asked me for it in the past, and so I figured I would share it with you as well. So you can use this as much and as little as you'd like. You can use it while you're working on your essay, but I've just broken down each paragraph. So here's some area in the introduction to kind of write your hook, your context background, your thesis statement. Here's a space for part 1, thinking about a topic sentence, defining those terms, giving an example from one of the authors, analysis, and then part 2, giving that example in an analysis area, and then your conclusion. Okay, so again, you're welcome to use this. You're welcome to not look at this ever again. It's your preference. It's there for you to have if you need it, or to totally reject if you never want to think about it again. Okay, so that's the outline. Now, let me show you where to go for the actual essay. So what you're going to do is you're going to go to our module page, just like any other week, and you'll see week 9, and it'll say our timed write. You'll see the Onion reading. I'd suggest reading it. Obviously, you don't have to use it in your essay, so I'll never know, I guess, if you never read it. But I would at least look through it. It's a fascinating read. I really enjoy reading it. I wish we had more time to actually talk about it, but maybe we'll do that in 201 a little bit. But please take a look at it. And then you'll see in week 9.3 is the timed write. So go ahead and click on that. All right, now I'm going to put this in preview mode because this is what you'll see rather than this mode that I'm in. Okay, so you'll start here, and as you can see, some things I want to point out. Oh, okay, go away. As you can see, there's this time clock. So as you are writing, you will be able to see how much time you've spent on the essay. All right, and it counts down for you rather than counting up. So I still have 1 hour and 59 minutes to go. So make sure that you are keeping track of that. It will run out after 2 hours. All right, I've listed the prompt here again for you, so you can have that as you're working. And then you scroll down and it'll say question 1, and it'll say, please write your essay below, and you just type. You can just type away, this is my essay. Yay. All right, maybe a smiley face. Okay, now the other thing I want to point out here is, well, a few things. 1, MLA format kind of goes out the window in terms of this text box, so you don't have to worry about it. Just type, make sure you have some paragraphs. That's perfect. The other thing I want to point out is down here where you can see 6 words, that's my word count. So that's how you will be able to know that you're getting close to, or maybe you're not close to, the 1,000-word count. So make sure you're eyeing this as well as your time that's up here. You want to keep track of both of those things while you are working. All right, once you're done, all you do is you hit submit quiz. I'm not going to do that. I don't know what happens when I do that, so I'm not going to try it. But you will hit submit quiz when you're done, and that's it. Okay. I don't know if there's anything else in terms of the actual instructions that I wanted to tell you, other than make sure that if you have any technical difficulties, you let me know right away. Once you hit submit or you click out of this, it will not let you click back in. I've made it so you only get 1 attempt, and it's for 2 hours. So once you've committed to being on the quiz page, you've committed, okay? So be aware of that. And of course, technical issues happen, so don't panic if something's happening. I can fix it. I can kind of make sure you get back on it. But yeah, otherwise, if you do accidentally click out of it or purposefully click out of it, it will end. So just so you know, okay? And I think that's all I wanted to say about this. Yeah. Well, as always, if you have more questions about the TimedWrite or any parts of the TimedWrite, please let me know. I'm here to help. I think it would be better for you and probably for me as well if you do have questions or concerns or issues earlier in the week. Try this out, Friday at 10:30 p.m. is probably not the best time to write this essay. I understand if that's the only time you can write this essay, but that limits our ability to kind of fix things if there's issues. Okay, so yeah, I think that's it. Have a wonderful time writing. Like I said, please don't worry, you'll be just fine. Alrighty, everyone, bye.